Ever wondered what it's like for an Amish bride on her first night? No wedding night glamour, no lace or perfume, just a plain white gown, a quiet room, and centuries-old traditions. But here's the twist, there's no pressure, no expectations. So what really happens? Let's step inside their world. Now, when it comes to preparation, every detail follows a purpose. From cleansing rituals to modest clothing, everything is rooted in tradition. Let's break it down step by step. Body cleaning and grooming. All right, let's talk about how an Amish bride prepares for her first night, starting with personal cleaning and grooming. Before the wedding night, an Amish bride must take a bath, but it's nothing fancy. No scented candles, no expensive bath oils, just plain water and a homemade natural soap. This soap is usually made from basic ingredients like lard, lye, and water, completely fragrance-free. Why? Because in Amish culture, artificial scents and luxury products are considered vain and unnecessary. Now, here's something interesting: no perfumes, no deodorants. Unlike modern brides who might spend hours picking the perfect fragrance, an Amish bride doesn't wear any. The idea is simple: natural scent over artificial beauty. It's about humility, not attraction. And what about shaving? Well, there's no strict rule. Some Amish women choose to groom themselves, but there's no cultural expectation to shave their legs or underarms before the wedding night. It's all about personal preference. This simple, no-frills approach to grooming might sound unusual, but for the Amish, it's a tradition passed down for centuries. They believe beauty isn't about perfumes or makeup, it's about natural simplicity and living with purpose. So that's how an Amish bride prepares herself: clean, simple, and without any extra fuss. Clothes and undergarments. Now let's talk about what an Amish bride wears on her wedding night. Forget satin robes, lace lingerie, or fancy designer nightwear. Simplicity is key. An Amish bride wears a plain white nightgown, usually made of 100% cotton. There's no lace, no embroidery, no silk, just a simple, modest design. The gown is meant to be comfortable and practical, reflecting the Amish values of humility and modesty. But here's an interesting detail: this isn't just any white gown. The white color symbolizes purity and a new beginning. Unlike mainstream wedding culture, where the focus is often on looking glamorous, Amish brides embrace simplicity as a virtue. And what about undergarments? Again, nothing fancy. Amish brides wear loose-fitting, full-coverage cotton underwear. No flashy colors, no delicate fabrics, just practical, breathable material. The goal? Function over fashion. This approach might seem outdated in today's world, but for the Amish, tradition matters more than trends. Their way of dressing reflects their deep-rooted beliefs where beauty isn't about appearance, but about living with grace and humility. So, while the world obsesses over wedding night lingerie, an Amish bride keeps it simple, comfortable, and true to her faith. Makeup and jewelry. Now, let's address something that might surprise. Many Amish brides wear no makeup, no foundation, no lipstick, not even a touch of blush. Their natural face is their wedding look. Why? Because in Amish culture, beauty isn't about appearance, it's about inner purity. Wearing makeup is seen as vanity, which goes against their beliefs in humility and simplicity. Looking made up is considered unnecessary, even on the most special night of their lives. And what about jewelry? Completely off limits. No earrings, no necklaces, not even a wedding ring. Yes, you heard that right, Amish couples don't exchange rings. Instead, their commitment is shown through their way of life and devotion to their spouse. Historically, the Amish believe that adornment distracts from spiritual values. Unlike modern brides who spend hours picking out jewelry to complement their outfits, bedroom setup. Step inside an Amish bedroom and you'll immediately notice one thing: simplicity. There are no fancy decorations, no floral arrangements, and definitely no romantic candlelight. Everything is plain, functional, and traditional. At the center of the room is a wooden bed, handcrafted with care because in Amish culture, most furniture is made by hand. The bed is covered with plain white sheets, no embroidery, no silk, just simple cotton or linen. Comfort matters, but extravagance does not. One interesting tradition: in some Amish communities, the bride and groom use separate quilts. This isn't about distance, it's just the way things have always been done. Sharing a bed doesn't always mean sharing a blanket. And what about privacy? Amish homes are often shared with extended families, so a completely private bedroom isn't always guaranteed. In some cases, newlyweds may even spend their first night in a guest room or a designated space in the family home. For outsiders, it may seem unusual, but for the Amish, this first night reality. For most cultures, the first night of marriage is surrounded by expectations, but in the Amish community, things are different. There is no pressure, no urgency, and no societal demands for immediate intimacy. Everything happens at its own pace, based on mutual understanding. In traditional Amish customs, the first night isn't about physical relations at all. Instead, it's about companionship. Newlyweds often spend time talking, getting comfortable with each other, and simply sharing a space. Love and connection are seen as something that grows over time rather than something expected instantly. Historically, some Amish communities practiced a unique tradition called bundling. This involved the couple sleeping in the same bed, fully clothed, separated by a wooden plank or thick blankets. The idea was to foster emotional closeness without immediate intimacy. Over time, this practice faded, but the idea of patience and gradual connection remains. In modern Amish families, there is a little more flexibility. Some couples may choose to be intimate on the first night, while others take their time. But one thing remains unchanged: there is no external pressure. The Amish believe that marriage is a lifelong commitment, so there is no rush. For outsiders, this approach may seem unusual, but for the Amish, it's just another way of honoring faith, simplicity, and respect in relationships. Bride's physical and mental preparation. Unlike modern cultures, where premarital counseling and discussions about the wedding night are common, Amish brides receive very little direct guidance. Conversations about intimacy are often kept private or avoided altogether. In most Amish communities, parents or elders do not openly discuss what happens on the first night. Instead, young brides rely on subtle hints, whispered conversations with married friends, or indirect lessons from religious teachings. Some mothers may give basic advice on marriage duties, but details are rarely shared. Despite this, Amish girls aren't entirely unprepared. From a young age, they are raised with a deep understanding of modesty, respect, and traditional gender roles. They learn that marriage is a spiritual bond, not just a physical relationship. Physically, there are no special beauty treatments or elaborate preparations. No makeup, no spa days, just simple, practical grooming. Brides may bathe using homemade soap, wear modest white nightgowns, and follow natural routines. The focus is on purity and simplicity rather than attraction or seduction. Mentally, the experience varies. Some Amish brides feel nervous, especially since they have had minimal exposure to romance, while others approach it with quiet acceptance. The key idea is that love and understanding grow over time rather than being expected instantly. For the Amish, marriage is a lifelong commitment. The first night is just the beginning of a slow, respectful journey, one bride's first night experience. For many Amish brides, the first night of marriage is a step into the unknown. Since Amish culture discourages open discussions about intimacy, most brides have little to no prior knowledge or expectations. Unlike modern couples, who may have dated for years, Amish couples often experience their first private moments together on this very night. Is there nervousness? Absolutely. Some brides feel anxious or shy, unsure of what is expected. Others approach it with calm acceptance, trusting their faith and community values. The key difference is that there is no societal pressure to perform on the first night. Amish teachings emphasize mutual respect and patience rather than immediate physical intimacy. For many Amish women, intimacy is seen as a blend of duty and emotional connection. It is neither overly romanticized nor treated casually. The belief is that affection and love will develop naturally over time. While some brides may feel distant at first, others gradually become comfortable with their husbands as they grow into their roles as wives. There's also an understanding that marriage is a lifelong journey. The first night is not about passion, but about building trust. Some couples may simply talk, pray together, or sleep side by side, easing into their new relationship slowly. In essence, the Amish first night is not about pressure. It is about patience, faith, and forming a quiet bond that will last a lifetime. Amish brides' secrets and myths. The Amish way of life is deeply private and often misunderstood. There are many myths surrounding an Amish bride's first night, some of which are far from reality. Myth number one: Amish brides have no idea about intimacy. While Amish culture discourages open discussions on romance, it doesn't mean brides are completely unaware. Some Amish women learn from older married women in the community, while others enter marriage with only a vague idea of what to expect. There is no formal wedding night talk, and each bride's experience varies based on her upbringing and family openness. Myth number two: family stays nearby on the first night. A common misconception is that Amish newlyweds are never fully alone on their first night. While it's true that many Amish weddings involve large family gatherings, and some couples even stay in the bride's home for a few nights, the first night is still a private matter between husband and wife. They are not expected to share this moment with anyone else around. Old Amish versus modern Amish brides. In the old Amish tradition, intimacy was often delayed. Some newlyweds simply talked or slept beside each other for weeks before anything physical happened. Modern Amish couples may take a more natural approach, but they still follow the values of patience and modesty. Overall, the Amish first night is simple, private, and far from the dramatic myths people imagine. Amish weddings and first night privacy. Privacy is a luxury in Amish households, where large families often live together under one roof. This raises an interesting question: how much privacy do newlyweds actually get on their first night? Unlike mainstream weddings, Amish couples don't leave for a honeymoon or a private getaway. Instead, after the wedding reception, the couple often stays in the bride's family home for the first few nights. The room they use is typically a simple guest room or an extra bedroom. Since most Amish homes are built for large families, complete privacy can be difficult. Walls are thin and bedrooms are often close together. However, Amish culture does not put pressure on couples to consummate their marriage immediately. The first night is more about adjusting to each other's presence rather than fulfilling expectations. In more traditional Amish communities, privacy is limited. Some families offer the couple a separate bedroom, while others continue with their daily routines without special accommodations. Over time, as the couple transitions into married life, they eventually move into their own home where they can enjoy more privacy. Despite these challenges, Amish newlyweds adapt to their circumstances with patience and Amish brides' first morning routine. The morning after the wedding night in an Amish household is not about luxury breakfasts or relaxation. Instead, it's about responsibility, routine, and seamlessly blending into the family. Unlike mainstream cultures where a newlywed couple might sleep in after their wedding, Amish brides are expected to wake up early, just like any other day. The community follows a strict schedule, and the new bride is now a part of her husband's household. Amish women are raised with a strong sense of duty. After marriage, they immediately begin helping with daily chores. This may include preparing breakfast for the family, cleaning and laundry with the other women, feeding livestock, if they live on a farm, learning new household routines in her husband's home. There is no concept of a honeymoon phase in Amish culture. A bride's transition is smooth because she has been trained for household responsibilities since childhood. While the morning after the wedding is an adjustment, it's not a shocking or stressful experience for Amish brides. They know what is expected of them and embrace their role with quiet dignity. Their life does not change drastically overnight, but rather follows the rhythm of their simple, hardworking lifestyle. Amish brides and the silent lessons. In Amish culture, brides do not openly discuss romantic or private matters. However, there is an unwritten tradition known as silent lessons. This is an unspoken practice where newly married couples never openly discuss their first night experiences. Instead, older married women pass down knowledge through indirect subtle gestures, discreet advice, and quiet encouragement. There are no formal talks, no explicit instructions, just a silent understanding that guides the new bride. Some Amish women share wisdom through household tasks rather than words. For example, while teaching a young bride how to prepare a special meal, an elder might slip in gentle hints about patience, understanding, and mutual respect in marriage. This tradition keeps intimacy private while ensuring that a bride never feels completely lost. It's a cultural code of modesty and discretion, deeply embedded in Amish values. And so the Amish wedding night remains an enigma, wrapped in tradition, silence, and simplicity. No grand declarations, no dramatic first night expectations, just a quiet beginning to a lifelong journey. But isn't that the most intriguing part? In a world obsessed with instant gratification and oversharing, the Amish way raises more questions than it answers. How does a marriage grow when romance isn't publicly celebrated? Does the absence of modern influences make intimacy more meaningful?